Hey, Brock Huard here, Volkswagen of Puyallup, part of the Harnish Auto family with my buddy Kirsten. And what am I looking at here?
We're looking at the 2024 Tiguan.
And why is this such a popular vehicle at Volkswagen?
You know, what I find is for a subcompact SUV, it's the most accommodating.
And Tiguan because?
It's actually a mixture between the name of a tiger and an iguana.
Okay.
And they put, yeah,
Tiger,
Tiguan.
Iguana. And
Yep.
you and I are gonna take it for a ride and you're gonna tell me all about it.
Let's go.
Thank you. Well, I'll tell you one thing that jumps out right away, Kirsten, is just the aesthetics of this vehicle.
Isn't
And
it good looking?
It really is. So what is the R line?
The R line is going to add a nice cosmetic look to it. It gives it more of a sporty appearance. You're going to see that in the wheels, on
Yep.
the badging, and on the interior as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, just before we even get in here and take it for a ride, like just the beauty and the aesthetics of the inside, I mean, that is a gorgeous car.
Isn't it?
Yes. So what is the leather? What am I looking at here?
You're looking at Volkswagen's signature leatherette, and it's very durable and it looks great, especially over time.
And I'm gonna guess with Volkswagen, it's durable, it's beautiful, but man, is it functional.
Man, you know it.
Let's go do it. I've said this about a bunch of the vehicles here at the Harnish Auto family, but like the headroom, right? So I'm almost 6'6" in my shoes, and it is super, as you said, accommodating.
Yeah.
Is that like the word? Is that the buzzword for the Tiguan, one of your favorites?
I think it's my favorite.
Yeah, because,
It's accommodating.
yeah, and over the years, in this class of vehicles, I mean, it's about as accommodating as it gets.
I'm really glad you asked because back before, when the Tiguan was first released, it looked like the GTI, but a bit bigger.
Okay.
And people's biggest complaints were they didn't have enough backseat space
Yeah.
or trunk space.
Yep.
And when they redesigned it in 2018, it made it a lot more accommodating. They listened to the concerns and they responded, and they just made it a bit more accommodating.
I love it. Okay, so accommodating is awesome, but then you obviously need the function of safety. Right?
Absolutely.
People buy Volkswagen, it's trustworthy, it's reliable, it's dependable, and it is a really safe vehicle. So what does the 2024 version have?
Well, you're going to find a lot of the advanced safety features, including your adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning,
Yep.
and blind spot detection as well. But what we're going to really count on is the materials. It has going to have more durable materials, thicker steel, and you hear that when you shut the door, when you
Yep.
open a window, and then when it counts in that moment, you've got a beautiful steel cage with you too that keeps the cabin compartment safe.
Yeah, my wife is an interior designer, and I remember walking through different homes that we've looked at through the years, and she says you can always tell the quality of a house by the weight of the doors, right? Just by that same just quality. And you feel that when you open this door, you close this door, and frankly, I'm gonna guess some of that weight, some of that steel also makes this a quieter ride.
Absolutely. It's going to help dampen the noise from the road, and then so you have a nice quiet interior.
Yeah. Accommodating and comfortable, those two things kind of work together, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Kirsten, one of the things that I do love, and I finally got the name right, Kirsten.
That's me.
Kirsten. Yeah. Not Kirsten.
No.
Kirsten. When you got a big mouth and a big tongue, Kirsten. One of the things that I do love in these vehicles over the years, right, is just how this has changed and this has changed. And everybody does it a little bit differently. So just here, I've got some navigation right in front of me, and this screen, just the functionality of it, just a piece of cake.
I'm so glad you noticed. You're right, that digital cockpit is a bit of an update from other dials, and when you have your maps right there in front of you as opposed to looking to the side, it
Yep.
really helps in terms of your level of attention and focus on the road. But if you like it more here, like toward the center,
Sure.
and if you've got someone navigating for you,
Yep.
a bit of a co-pilot, then you can actually have that map right here in the center.
Yeah.
And you're right, the screen here in the center is great in terms of convenience for the driver, but also for the passengers.
And I'm gonna guess accommodating to Bluetooth and wireless and all that fun stuff.
You got it.
Gosh, I could almost sell these cars.
You probably could. So Apple CarPlay, Android Auto are going to be here as well, and
Yep.
probably one of my favorite tools. Siri and I get along very nicely in terms of operating in my car.
Yeah, I yell at her sometimes. I get a little frustrated with Siri, but yes, her and I have had some issues through the years.
I think we're at bestie status right now with our household.
Anything to know, like I'm feeling this right, it's funny, like all these cars offer a little different, and I'm feeling it right away just in the handle, like just the steering wheel, right? The What am I feeling here? What have they tried to do?
So the materials, you're right. The materials make a
Yes.
big difference in terms of that tactile feel. And
Yeah.
with that steering wheel, yes, it's leather wrapped. And you also have the heated steering wheel feature as well.
Yes, kind of important. November, December, January, February, March, April in the Pacific Northwest. Kind of a cool feature there. And I'm going to guess that's listening. You said that earlier, and I think that's such a key part of it is just listening to your customers and Volkswagen through the years. And I know Volkswagen and Puyallup just does such an awesome job. You're one of the best in the entire state, and I don't know, maybe even whole region and moving the vehicles. But do they listen? Is that where this comes from? Is that where these materials, is that where the adaptability? Do you find that Volkswagen really listens to its customers?
I'm so glad you noticed.
Yes, it's okay. Don't cry on me, Kirsten. Don't you cry
I
on me.
won't cry. However, yes, listening is a big part of what makes our experience special and
Yeah.
the way that we show that we care and that people matter. When you listen, you learn quite a bit from your customers,
Yeah.
and that's the way that we are able to care for them and learn what's important to them.
Yeah, it's so fun for me in my spots, right, to endorse you guys and talk about the Harness Auto family. People matter. People matter. Harness Auto family. People matter. And each of you all have your own little lane of that, and leave happy. Like, people matter and leave happy. Like, that is this.
Mm-hmm.
That is function. That is safety. I mean, that's just what Volkswagen is about.
I'd high five you, but it might be a little distracting.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, I got hit in the head a lot, Kirsten. That's why I screwed your name up a few times. And maybe my IQ isn't what it used to be. So talk to me about IQ Drive in this Tiguan.
So our IQ Drive is part of a driver assistance package.
Okay.
And what that includes is your adaptive cruise control, lane centering,
Yep.
as well as auto high beams. And it helps you, it assists you in keeping your eyes on the road, and it does these things for you. I really
What
like that.
do you mean it does it for me?
Well, for the auto high beams, I don't know if you've ever forgotten that your high beams are on.
Yes.
Well, it'll turn them back off.
Oh, nice.
And it'll put them on in moments where it thinks that you might want them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it just feels and senses and just kind of has that IQ built in.
Correct. With the sensors in the car, it does bring up that IQ and just helps you along your way.
So I'm going to guess, gorgeous day today, Kirsten. But if this IQ is everything it's cracked up to be, that probably includes some sensors on the wipers.
Yes, here in the Pacific Northwest, we're no strangers to the rain, and it does have auto sensing wipers as well.
So lane assistance, high beam assistance. Oh, look at that. It stopped us because guess what? A train is coming. Or maybe I still had the IQ to stop the car myself for that. Awesome.
It's part of the charm of Puyallup.
When customers come in, and I'm going to guess there's a loyalty, there's an appreciation of the Volkswagen brand and the Tiguan. And you said this model change or the body changed when? 2018?
2018.
Okay, so when a Tiguan customer comes in, and you just know it, right? They're one of your customers that's bought them before. What do they love about it? What are the things that you hear when you sit in this seat, from the customers as they just say, man, I love this, or I think of this, or what are those buzzwords that come to your mind with the Tiguan?
They love the looks and the appearance.
Yeah.
They love the style. And
Yeah.
then second to that would be for their families and having the space for their families and then their things as well.
Yeah. And you talk about bang for the buck and the aesthetics of it. This is pretty good too, right?
Absolutely. You mentioned it's a great value,
Yeah.
and I would agree. This is a tremendous value.
Yeah.
Something that I think is really nice is
Uh-huh.
the ventilated seats.
Yeah.
You don't find that in every car. You find heated seats commonly, but
Yeah.
not the ventilated seats. So
Yeah.
I like that this one has the ventilated seats.
I like how you just, you talked about the IQ of the car. As we get in these different models and you sit in different vehicles, this is so simple. It is so functional.
That's
right?
Yes, that's a signature also of Volkswagen in terms of if you look at their interiors over the ages, it is going to be really intuitive and then
Yes.
just a very classic, simple layout.
Yeah, I like that word, intuitive. Right? When I think of Volkswagen, that's what I think of. When I drive these vehicles, that's what I think of. Like, yep, pretty intuitive. When I'm on the road a bunch, and I'm on the road a lot during football season, and, I'll get in different rental cars and hop in different, whatever's on the aisle, and just usually late at night, and I run in. Like, to me, Volkswagen, there's some vehicles I get in, And I'm like, I don't even know where is the start button? How is a start button on my blinker? What are we doing here? Right?
Yes, through the years, we're seeing a lot of updates in technology, and people are getting really creative
Yes.
with the placement of buttons. And
Yep.
it's really challenging, especially if you're going between different vehicles,
Yep.
to know where things are. So I'm glad that you're finding these landmarks within the vehicle, and you are working with ease.
Yes, just intuitive. I like that word. Okay, so talk to me, Kirsten, about the app. I just got donuts, by the way. When I come to Puyallup, you come to Happy Donuts. So that's what they're doing right here, too.
It's our favorite.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. So I've known Jack and his wife for so long, and they're such good people, and part of why I love this community. Okay, talk to me about this app. I know so many of these cars are becoming adaptable. You talked about the adaptability of this and the kind of intuitiveness of it. Talk to me about the Volkswagen app when it comes to this vehicle.
One of the ways that you can stay connected with your vehicle from your phone is through the My VW app.
Okay.
And what's nice is it'll remind you about maintenance reminders, answer any of your questions that you might have in terms of some of the features, and help you just stay connected with your car.
Okay.
It'll also let you know if there's any lights that come on your car, say tire pressure or something of that nature. It'll alert your phone as well and give you a notification.
And then if you've been, hitting the head a few times and you forget where you park and you forget where your car is, probably can help you do that too.
You got it.
Probably help locate your vehicle. Oh, that's awesome. Do you find that a lot of your customers enjoy that aspect? Is it the younger generation that just needs and feels that connection?
Well, if you've ever had to park in a town where you're not quite familiar to
Yeah.
get to a location, you have to walk a couple blocks.
Yep.
Yes, that vehicle locating feature is key. One of my best friends uses that on the regular because she also just can't remember exactly where
Yep.
she parked. Not
Yep.
everybody has a good internal map.
Yep. What do your customers say about the handling and the drive of it? What do you hear the most?
I think that's what people come to Volkswagen for, is the drive. It's very distinctly different from other manufacturers, is the drive and how it engages.
How so?
What you're going to find is when you're even crawling up, or when you're cruising through a parking lot, I think
Right.
is really a defining moment. You're able to kind of crawl nicely
Okay.
and cruise in style, but as you're accelerating, you got it. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a very engaging drive.
Yeah.
It's a very exciting drive, and you feel that because of the materials and the way it handles as well. If you like to drive a little bit more sporty, it does have a nice sport mode that you can access as well, just by pulling up back on the gear shifter there.
Yeah.
And you can feel it
And I
engage.
can see that S
Yep.
in my car.
You're going to be in a lower gear.
Wow.
And you just have better access to that power band there.
Yeah.
I'll put it right back in
and
drive.
why didn't you tell me that earlier?
I'm sorry.
We were near the end of this drive and you finally put me in sport mode. Why can't you know? I'm going to put myself right there. Here we go.
You're going to
Right
find
back at
by
sport mode.
default in drive, it's a very sporty drive.
It is. And this thing handles great. Well, Kirsten, that was an absolute blast. Thank you for showing me everything that Tiguan had to offer.
Well, I'm so glad that you're able to join us as well. I had a lot of fun showing you one of the hottest SUVs that Volkswagen has to offer.
It is cool. It is really, really cool. And remember, come down to Volkswagen of Puyallup. You will leave happy. If you have any questions whatsoever, hit that comments page right below.